What's up, guys? CryptoSavvy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and we take a look at the traditional markets throughout the week. We will be doing that towards the end of the video. That has been key to what's going on with Bitcoin lately. I know a lot of people say that it isn't correlated, but it is very correlated regardless of what everybody's saying. All you have to do is watch it and see for yourself. But I want to remind you too, there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. If you want a great community to hang out in, this is the one, and let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Always do your own research. There's a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. All right, let's get into it. Just quick look at the news headlines and see what the sentiment is. Get set for Bitcoin halving. Here's what that means. Major Chinese crypto miners expect influx of new Bitcoin. Warren Buffett expects market doom that could take down the whole market. Iran issues license for nation's biggest mining operation. Bitcoin at risk of deep fall in coming months. Original blockchain and Bitcoin, different paths to decentralization. So a little mixed, a little bullish, a little bearish. Fear and greed index, we're at 40, dropped 4 points from yesterday. Still in fear. We are out of the extreme fear. Right here, these are my key areas I'm watching for the monthly. Obviously, it's early in the month, but a close above the 93.50 is going to be bullish for me, and a close below, and this is a monthly close I'm talking about, a close below 85.60 is going to be bearish for me. Let's look at my wife's webpage real quick. Thank you all that have been purchasing things on here to help support the channel. It's a great way to support the channel. It's t-shirts, coffee mugs, aluminum signs, hats. There's also long sleeve tees and hoodies too. Just hit her up in the contact. They're not listed on here. You can put any crypto you want, any family picture, any saying, anything you want. She can do it all, and I appreciate it. Let's look at the weekly. All right, so looking at the weekly at the symmetrical triangle here in white, we also have been watching, as you can see, the yellow trend lines here, a falling broadening wedge, which if we were to break out, and we are going to be taking a look at the bullish and the bearish case scenarios, guys, and I'm going to take a look at the 4 hour and show you a more immediate time frame targets. So definitely make sure to stick around for that. Looking at the RSI or the EMAs here, they are still looking like they want to turn bullish unless we get a drop here, which I think we're going to. I'm more bearish than bullish, guys, but if we were to break this, top of this falling broadening wedge would be around the 93.60 range. I would expect some major resistance around the 10.5 zone, which is the top of the bigger trend line here. But if we were to break that, my target would be around 16,000. Yeah, that's the target of the falling broadening wedge. Like I said, I am more bearish than bullish, and I'm going to put another target right here. I'm going to do it in red. These are my, whoops. Oh, well, I'll keep that there. These are my worst case scenarios, guys. The first one is off of this trend line off of the bottom here around the $4,500 to $4,600 range. We also have the 200 EMA here around the $54 to $55 or $54 to $5,500 range. I would expect some major support there, or at least a good bounce if we made it down that far. We're going to take a look at the RSI now. Also, let's take a look first. This 28.45 target is just a target of this longer term trend line that we have from 2016 over here, and if we came back to retest the bottom of this falling wedge here, would be around the $1,000 range. I'm not saying it's going to go there, guys. I'm saying to keep an eye out. This is possible. That's all I'm saying. Let's look at, also, one more thing. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. It helps get the video out there. It helps the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate it. Also, better yet, you can leave comments down below, which help out extremely. All right, so let's look at the falling wedge here in the weekly. Now, as you guys know, we can come up here and still close below in the weekly because the RSI does follow the body. But a close above here on the weekly would be bullish in my opinion, and a close back inside would be bearish. If we did close back inside, we're most likely going to come back down and retest this bottom trend line. If that was to break, then here, that would be our lower lows. Let's look at the daily. So on the daily are also the EMAs looking bullish here. Our 21 has just crossed our 200. Everything already crossed the 55 down here. It is possible that we could get up to this 10,139 range, and I'll show you why that target is. I have moved these trend lines. I had this as a wedge. I have this as a channel now that is following the RSI here. If we look at it in the RSI, it's a rising broadening wedge, which to me is bearish. In the white over here, these are the Fibonacci retracements from this swing low to this swing high. So the 0.236 would be around 81.73, which I think is a very good chance that we get down to here. Then we also, this red line here that is at 7,700, it's been major support and resistance all the way across here. And the 0.382 fib is around 73.51. 0.5 is around 66.74. 0.618 right in the golden pocket area is around 6,000. I do believe that we're most likely going to come back down to this area. Also, I still have my 5,400 target that we've been looking at for a long time. Guys, it doesn't mean it's going to go straight down here. It's obviously going to take a while, but I do still think this is a good target for us. Then we do have the 0.786, which is around the $5,000 range. And if this wasn't to hold, then we could go to our lower ranges. But as of right now, if you look here in the blue, we have this rising broadening wedge. And if we came up to this $10,140 range, would be retesting the bottom of that. I would expect major rejection there and coming down to our lower lows. We'll see what happens. If we even get up there, there's a good chance we don't, and we just come back down from here. We'll look at it in the smaller time frames, but I do want to take a look at, oh, one more thing. If you look, it does look like we had the breakout right here from the declining volume. But if we take a look, and that's why I still have this channel here, is we're still declining volume, guys. There's still not really been a big break, and I do believe one is coming possibly this week. Let's look at the RSI now. As you guys know, this is, drew this way back in here a couple months ago, saying this is a possible inverse head and shoulders, which it ended up being. And as of right now, we are in a rising broadening wedge. And as you can see, we have a rising channel here in white. It is possible that we come up for one more test here. That would be getting us up to around that 10-1 area, in my opinion. And then we most likely come back down, drop from here, and a break of this trend line in the daily RSI will be a big fall. That could be this week, maybe next week. We'll see what happens. Let's go into the 4-hour. All right, so in the 4-hour, sorry if it's a little messy, guys. This one out of here. Same thing, I changed that trend line in here. Also, we will be taking a look at Litecoin and Ethereum also next, and then we'll move on to the traditional markets. If you guys are interested in trading, I'm going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Great exchange. You can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, Dow Jones, all kinds of different stuff with your Bitcoin as collateral. Definitely check it out. If you use my promo code SAVVY50, you get 50% bonus on top of whatever you deposit up to 1 Bitcoin. And you use SAVVY25 for 25% off of your trading fees for, I believe, for a month. I also have other exchanges down there with tutorials. I have DOW and Bybit. These are the 3 exchanges that I trust. You know, as much as you can trust an exchange. I've used all the other ones, tried other ones. I used to have a Femex link, Crack and all that. I don't care for them. That's why I don't have the links anymore. I got rid of them. I do not use them, so I don't suggest anyone. I don't put it out there because I'm not using them, as I don't like them. So anyways, let's take a look at the more immediate time frames. As of right now, we are getting support on all the EMAs. Here we are above them, I do believe we're most likely going to come back down to at least retest the bottom of this triangle that you see here, and that would be somewhere in the $8,600 range. If we are to break the top of this, the measured move, we have a few measured moves. We look at it as a bull flag, which I don't believe it is. It'd be higher, but looking at it as a triangle, do a measured move. If we were to break up today, that would get us up to that $10,140 range, which would be retesting the bottom of this rising broadening wedge. So it does line up. It is a good possibility. I'm not thinking that's what's going to happen, but never know. It is Bitcoin. And if we look at it as a bull flag, take a measured move that way, if we were to break out today, that would get us up to about the $10,600 range, which would break our 10.5 highs. Again, I don't think it's that, but be aware if we do break this top trend line, we're most likely headed to at least 10,140. And then I would expect some rejection there. Now, same thing, I have, whoops, let me get this back. I have these, let me get this one out of here. I have these white Fibonacci retracement numbers, and that's from the swing low, which is down here, to the swing high, and these are the white are the Fibonacci retracements. This being 0.236, this being 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, and like I said, I still believe we're most likely going to come down to this area. Unless we break this high, then these are going to change, and that's why I do daily updates. We'll look at that. Now, in the bearish case scenario, guys, if we were to break down below this, I would expect support around the 81.43 range. First of all, if that was to break, the target for breaking this is around 7,600, which also would line up with this trend line off of these peaks over here. That would line up nicely there around 7,600 if that was to break. Next support 73, then 66 and 6,000. I'm still bearish here. Let's look at the RSI. RSI, we seem to be in a rising wedge here. It looks like we should at least come back down and test this one more time. And if that breaks, that'll probably be around that 8,600. And if that was to break, then we're most likely headed back down to at least test the bottom of this channel, which I do not believe will hold, around the $8,000 range. But like I said, look at the 236 first for a bounce around the 81.40, 81.50 range. But guys, I still do see us coming down here. Unless, of course, we break this 9,400, we're headed up to around the 10,100 range. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Taking a look at Litecoin, we're looking at Litecoin as a rising wedge here. Same thing, I have a swing low to swing high Fibonacci retracements. They are in white. And the 0.618 here is around 34.96. That's where I most likely think we're headed. And let's look at the RSI. As you can see, we had a rising channel here, which we fell out of. That's what also clues me in that Ethereum did the same thing. That's what's cluing me in that we're going to have a drop in Bitcoin. We fell through. We came back. We tested it. We're most likely going to come down and test the bottom of this falling channel. And that most likely is going to be around this $41 range, somewhere in that area. But like I said, I still think we come down to around this $35 range. In my opinion, I could be wrong. That's why I do daily updates. We will keep checking it out. Let's look at Ethereum. Same thing. If we look at the RSI, we had fallen out of this rising channel, came back, tested it, and we're back down. Most likely, the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour is going to be around the 185. That's where I see us coming back down to test this. If it breaks, then we would be looking at somewhere in the $130 to $140 range. The 0.618 is around 142, so that's what I would be looking for. If we were to break, if we were to break up out of this channel and break this top trend line here, we'd be looking at around $295 Bitcoin, which would be another double top over here. I don't think I took a look at the bullish in Litecoin. I will do that right now. Let me draw a... So if we were to break up out of this wedge here, guys, we'd be looking at around $70 Litecoin. But again, I'm pretty bearish here, guys. We could come up and retest the top of this trend line here off of these wicks where we broke down from here, and that would be around the $61 range. So that's a good possibility. I don't see it happening, but anything's possible, right? All right, that's about it for that. Let's take a look at the pre-market, which actually will be open by the time you guys watch this, but Dow Jones is up 288 points. And the funny thing is all the job losses, and it's up, and it listed right on here. So something kind of funky there, right? Let's look at the Dow Jones. So yesterday, we might be able to break these EMAs, get back above the EMAs here around 24,000 points. If we do, we're probably going to come up and test this 25.2 points up here, 25.2 thousand points at the golden retracement 0.618 Fibonacci, which would be retesting the top of this wedge I believe we broke down out of. I do still have a measured move from this wedge, about 20.3 thousand points. I do have lower targets here. You guys can check out last week's videos. I went through it a little deeper. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching. And I truly mean that when I say that. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Like I said, there will be exchange links running through the video. If you missed them, go back. But there'll be some tutorials that I put up top. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a great day. I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head.